Hi, guys. It's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. So, I didn't have internet for a while. The cat chewed right through the fiber cord. So they put a fiber cord in the exact same place and they said, don't worry. The cat can't get to it this time. It's in the exact same spot. I wanted to move it. I did move it. I moved it before he even came in. And he's like, that's not where we put it. I said, I know where you put it. The cat chewed through it. He says, no. He says, don't worry. They can't get to it this time. I said, okay, fine. See you next week. Oh, man. Nobody listens to me, but I don't care. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter one bit. All right. But the reason for I'm telling you that is because I couldn't record my judges. I had to go on YouTube to get judges today. But that's fine, right? YouTube judges are great too. Then there's a possibility you haven't seen these. But no. Here we go. Let's get started.
Miller.
Your Honor.
Mr. Miller, you keep getting arrested. Your mother does not want you to go to her house. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, you obviously don't, because you keep going back there and you keep getting arrested. What am I going to do with you?
I'm not going to return to the condominiums, Your Honor.
Well, you're not supposed to go there. You understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
You get arrested again, I'm going to keep you for a while. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. State charge you one kind of criminal trespass. You understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead?
Guilty.
You understand the rights that you will give up by pleading guilty, including your right to have a trial, right to be represented by a lawyer, right to be presumed innocent, to confront witnesses, to subpoena witness, to testify, to offer evidence on your own behalf, the right to assistance of counsel during the trial, right not to incriminate yourself. You understand these rights that you will give up by pleading today?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Satisfied with Mr. Randall, your lawyer?
Yes, sir, I am.
Can I sign your name to
Fireball.
this plea sheet to show the rights that I've told you?
I have a couple of candles that smell like Fireball. Okay, they say cinnamon, but they smell like Fireball.
Yes.
Mr. Randall, you got an address? What's your address? Where do you live, Mr. Miller? Is that an apartment?
Nice. It's a residence. It's a house.
Whose house is that? Your grandmother's?
It's his grandma's house, Judge.
Yes, sir.
What's your phone number?
One currently at this time, Your Honor.
You understand you're not supposed to go back to your mother's premises. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, CJ.
Do we have an, all right, sentence of the court be credit 14 days served, 12 months, remaining 12 months non-reporting. Do not return to the premises, waive both supervision fee. Now, you
Yo,
go
what
back
happened
there,
to my
you don't get
video?
arrested again.
That's not even him anymore. What happened to my video? This is the next guy. He's still talking. I don't understand.
Mr. Miller, I'm going to keep you for a while next time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So don't go back there. Have a seat.
Okay.
Something's wrong with the video, guys. I don't even understand.
Nichols.
Yes, sir.
And
Come on, Mr. Nichols.
Your Honor, would the court consider a lower bond in Mr. Nichols' case?
Mr. Nichols' bond is very appropriate, given his criminal history. Are you on probation, sir?
I was on probation, but I met the requirements.
You just pled out to an identity theft case. You got one theft by taking in 2217. You got fake ID, escape interference, battery, false imprisonment. Your bond is $1,000 cash surety.
Well, I would like to plea out to the 1-year probation.
No, sir. The sentence, recommended sentence for you, sir, is serve 60 days, credit 21 days. You wish to plea on that?
Yes, sir. There's one condition. I've been incarcerated now for approximately 30 days. If I do another 60 days, I will be evicted from my apartment. Is there any way I can do community service?
No, sir. No, sir. You can't keep going ripping people off and expect to walk out of jail. That's not happening.
What about some type of
No, we're not negotiating, sir. If you wish to plea, let me finish, please. I'm agreeable to sentence you to 60 days, give you credit for 21 days that you served.
I'll agree to that, sir.
That's how they do this court, Michael. They put the things up and it stays there.
After I'm released from here, can you help me with any kind of assisted living, because I'll be homeless after I do this sentence?
That's not within my purview. Sorry.
Can I have a bacon cheeseburger too?
Okay, I'll negotiate for the 60 days.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm? Tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
You're charged with one count of theft by taking. Do you understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead?
Guilty.
Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You can put your hand down, please. If you plead guilty, you give up. There's a document in front of you, record of defendant prior to entering a plea. So if I plead guilty, I waive or I give up the right to a speedy and public trial by jury, the right to have the state prove my guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, the right to be presumed innocent, the right to confront witnesses against me, the right to subpoena witness, the right to testify and offer evidence, the right to assistance of counsel during the trial, and the right not to incriminate myself. You understand these rights you will give up on land today?
Yes, sir.
Satisfied with the services of your lawyer, Mr. Randall?
Yes, sir.
May I sign your name to this plea sheet to show that I've told you what these rights are?
Yes, sir.
Sentence of the court will be 60 days to serve, credit 21 days already served. Serve the remaining 12 months on probation. Condition of probation is do not return to the premises. Await both supervision fee. What is your current address, sir?
1050 Ponce de Leon. But I'm not sure that I'll have that address when I'm here, because I'm going to be evicted.
Ponce de Leon what? Avenue? Is it an apartment?
Yes.
Apartment what?
711.
Say again?
711.
What's your cell phone number?
347 922.
922?
Yes, 4730. Yeah, Your Honor, I'm also working in the laundry department. Is there any time I can get some good time for that? Because I'm not getting paid here. I'm working 6 days a week in the laundry.
Mr. Nichols, the sheriff will take care of the good time.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wong.
All right, have a seat. Sentence will be 60 days credit 21, 12 months from now reporting. Do not return to the premises. Waive full supervision fee. Officer Allison, is that good enough? Do I need to make him report?
No, that's good enough, Your Honor.
All right, very well. Have a seat. Stay out of trouble, please. You come back. I'm gonna keep you for a year.
Thank you. God bless.
Have a seat. All right, Mr. Basquez.
And Judge, we would ask the court if they'd be amenable to a $1 cash only bond given the potential immigration consequences here.
Well, he's got an ice holder ready, so what's gonna happen to him?
Well, he just didn't want to take the plea to shoplifting, Judge. Under the new Lake and Riley Act, shoplifting is a much more.
No bribing for extra stream time, but it does take a lot to do a marathon. So if you want to chip in, feel free. I won't mind.
More serious offense for immigration purposes.
I understand that, but what's gonna happen to him? He's got an ice hold. He's gonna be deported, right?
More or less.
What do you mean more or less? He's gonna be gone. They're not gonna give him a bond.
Judge, I am not 100% familiar with the system and how that works.
Speaking of Monica, thank you so much for being the first person. This marathon is brought to you by Monica so far. Thank you very much for your $25. I really appreciate it. Of course I can do 72 hours.
You do not wish to enter
I'm a
plea
programmer.
today?
No, sir.
Very well. I'll lower bond to $10 cash. Make that bond?
I will try, Your Honor.
All right, modified bond to $1 cash. Good luck.
I can't pay $1, Your Honor. No. I have a strong suspicion since there were on the next guy already in this video that the end is gonna get cut off. Right. It's not gonna last. We'll see. The question is, can JK and Kit Kat last 72 hours? You're trying to kill them.
All right, return when required. Mr. Trubisky,
Yes, Your Honor.
you maybe on your target so we don't lose it. See what happens to him between now and then.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I didn't catch that.
I'm sorry. I was suggesting that perhaps you could put him on your radar for arraignment for 90 days and just have a status check and see what's happening with the ICE hold.
Okay, I'm fine with that,
Could
Judge.
be deported or he could be rerouted somewhere, but you know, this is totally undoable.
Okay, I'll make a note of it.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Wells.
Judge, Mr. Wells also wanted the court to consider.
Mr. Wells, given your criminal history, you already have 2 cases pending before me. I think bond is very reasonable. So if you wish to take a plea, I will consider that. If you don't, you just need to make bond as it is. Do you understand, sir?
I take a plea. Probation.
I take a plea of probation. No, you won't.
I can't understand what he said.
Probation or plea?
I think he said I'll take a plea to probation, Judge.
Of course you will. All right. I'm not inclined to do that, sir. The recommendation is to serve 45 days in jail, then I'll close it out. I'll give you credit for 15 days you already served. Yes or no?
Said if I take a plea, if I want to take a plea, I can get
If you take a plea, your plea, sir? How many days has he been in jail, mister?
He's been in jail 15 days, Your Honor. He does have a shoplifting conviction from earlier this year. And as of this morning, I now have his Florida criminal history, and it looks like he has at least 2 petty theft convictions from Florida as well.
Yay, Kelly. Thank you. Kelly and Monica, thank you so much. Thank you.
This microphone system that they have in the jail is terrible. I can't hardly hear anybody.
It is terrible.
There's feedback in there.
not guilty.
Sir,
Not guilty.
you're not guilty?
Not guilty.
Then have a seat. Have a seat. He's got about 18, 19 days left on that sentence.
That's my ex. I'm great at withholding.
Do we want to do Mr. Randall, you want to talk to him about a global plea to 30, credit 15?
30, credit 15. I can talk to him about that, Judge.
That's about, he's got another week left, basically. You want to get on the phone with him?
Yes, Judge, I can do that. Jail, what's a good number to call?
Hold on 1 minute. I have to go get a phone before you go.
You had me at broke. Thank you, Kelly.
Unfortunately, there's no phone available at the moment.
They're all in the inmate cells.
All right, Mr. Wells, come on up. You want to do another week and be done with all 3 cases that you have?
Yes.
I'm going to try to fix this while we're
Do you
watching it.
swear
Hold
or
on.
affirm, tell the truth.
Yes.
You can put your hand down. All right, you got 3 cases, Mr. Wells. Case number, do we have the accusation number, Mr. Karbinski, for all of them?
Yep.
I'm Ms. Cooley, tell me which one is which.
Okay. So for position 12, S number ending in 2371, that C number is 25C 02543.
0, say again.
For position 12, 25C,
Uh-huh.
02543.
Okay.
And then for position 13,
Uh-huh.
that case number is 25C, 02542. And for the position that's not on the calendar, that case number is 25C, 02545.
Zero, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The
Last one.
last one is 25C, 02545.
2, 5, 4, 5. All right.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, Mr. Wells, your charge in hold on. You're charged with what kind of criminal trespass in 25C 02543? You understand that charge?
Mhm.
How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
You, I can't take your plea if you're not going to plead guilty. Guilty or not guilty? In case number
Trying to fix it. It's almost ready.
2542, you're charged with one count of shoplifting. You understand that charge? Yes?
Yes.
How do you plead? Guilty?
Yes.
All right, and in case number 25C 02545, make that bond? Sir? How many days has he been in jail, mister?
He's been in jail 15 days, Your Honor. He does have a shoplifting conviction from earlier this year.
Did we see
And
this yet?
as of this morning,
Did I go too far? I think I might have fixed it better, but I don't know. Hold on. I think we're right around here, right? 12 minutes? Oh no, we're 20 minutes in.
Number is 25C, 02543.
They don't accept no less here. It's either guilty or not guilty.
Zero, say again?
For position 12, 25C,
Uh-huh.
02543.
Okay.
And then for position 13,
Uh-huh.
that case number is 25C, 02542. And for the position that's not on the calendar, that case number is 25C, 02545.
Zero, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The last one is 25C, 02545.
2545. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Wells, your charge in hold on. You're charged with what kind of criminal trespass in 25C 02543? You understand that charge?
Mhm.
How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
You, I can't take your plea if you're not going to plead guilty. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In case number 25C 02542, you're charged with one count of shoplifting. You understand that charge? Yes?
Yes.
How do you plead? Guilty?
Yes.
All right, and in case number 25C 02545, you're charged with one count of criminal, step by shoplifting. You understand that charge?
Yes.
You plead guilty to that charge?
Yes. Yes.
Understand if you plead guilty to these cases, you give up certain rights that you have, including your right to have a trial, right to be represented by a lawyer, and other rights that's on the plea
I didn't fix the video. I thought I did. I don't know why the video is so separated. I don't understand.
sheet. I'm gonna put them up on the screen for you. You have the right to a trial, right to be presumed innocent, confront witnesses, subpoena witness to testify, offer evidence, right to assistance of counsel, and right not to incriminate yourself. You understand these rights you will give up by pleading today?
Yes.
All right, can I sign your name to this plea sheet, show what I told you what these rights are?
Yeah.
Satisfied with your lawyer, Mr. Randall?
Yeah. Well, what is my
Are you happy with your lawyer?
Yes, I have my book.
Sense of the court for all three cases is 30, credit 15, 12 months on non-reporting, do not return to the premises. Waive both fees. Where do you live, sir?
I got a cousin. I got a cousin live in Limburg, and I got to get back in touch with him. Limburg.
You got a phone number?
I got a phone number. Yeah.
What's your phone number?
305-562-3956. Brother named John Wells. He gave
30
me
Give me that number again. You got email?
No.
All right, Officer Allison, he does not need to report. You got your phone, you got his phone number?
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Yes. All right, sense of the court in all three cases is all concurrent, please. 30, credit 15, 12 months non-reporting, do not return to the premises, waive both fees. All right, sir, stay out of trouble.
So what happened? What happened? Like left?
You got a week.
All right.
Have a seat.
All right, we only have 4 minutes left, and I'm scared it's going to end in the middle of a trial hearing. So let me just see real quick. If it's this file here, I don't think it is.
Okay, Mr. Davis.
No,
let's
it's not.
see
Okay,
here.
I'm ending it there. I'm ending it there. I'm going to jump ship and put something else on. Instead of starting something I can't finish. I love her.
Excuse.
Thank you. Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
Do you know what time I'm gonna start mine? Jose Bustamante?
Oh, you do not know how to follow instructions. I said wait until the end of the call of the docket. I am still in docket. I'm sorry that my job interferes with your day, sir. Zendimo
You
3111.
don't sound sorry though, Judge. You don't really sound sorry. Okay. Let's stay with her for a bit.
I would be excused.
You are. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much.
Tina Lewis Bell, William Robert Bell, cause number 2024-60495.
I'm here, Judge.
Okay, I see you, Mr. Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
Tina Lewis Bell, are you present? All right, Mr. Bell, it looks like the petitioner, the one that filed for the divorce, is not here. So I have to dismiss the case, okay?
Oh, I've been trying to get divorced from her since 2017, ma'am.
I hear you.
And I'm in another state.
I hear you, but she's the one that filed the petition. You don't have a counter pleading on file. There's not much I can do. My hands are tied.
All right, let me see if I can't get in touch with her.
Or you can file your divorce. That way you have a little bit more control of it.
All right, thank you.
Don't divorce, because then he would have to do something.
I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Ruth Cruz and Antonio Raimundo. All right. I do see that there's somebody on Tina's iPhone. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think maybe, I don't know if I called your case or you missed it or I missed you. Do you have a case number? Maybe I can help guide you.
202460 I was having a lot of trouble getting the Zoom to work this morning.
Okay, no problem. Let me just look it up. It's page 9. Tina Bell. All right, Mr. Bell appeared and he was eager to get this finalized, but you weren't present.
Yeah, like I said, Your Honor, I'm so sorry, but I was having all kinds of trouble trying to get the Zoom app to load.
Okay, hold on. Let me just pull up the case because I think you filed an agreed order. So I'm gonna go pull it up, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have your testimony ready, Miss Bell?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. All right, I'm ready.
Hi,
for
Lacey.
your script whenever you are.
My nerves are a little frazzled this morning.
Okay, do you need help?
Yes.
What is your full?
Do I just tell you why I'm wanting the divorce?
Okay, it sounds like you don't have your script in order. That's why I asked you. Do you have your script? Is the answer no?
The answer's no.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you need help?
Yes, please.
All right, listen to my questions. Can you please state your full name for the court?
Tina Louise Bell.
And are you the petitioner of this divorce?
Yes, ma'am.
And the respondent, is it William Robert Bell?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your date of marriage?
February the 20th of, it was 98 or 99.
Okay, so is your date of marriage February 20th of 1998 as stated in your divorce?
Yes, ma'am.
When was your date of separation?
Oh, God, it's been 10 years.
Okay, and has your marriage become insupportable because of discord or conflict of personalities, and it has destroyed the legitimate ends of your relationship? So there is zero possibility that you will reconcile.
Yes, ma'am.
During your marriage, do you have currently today any children under 18 years of age?
No children.
All right. Now, since the date of your separation, did you or him have any children or adopt any children with anyone else?
No, ma'am.
When you filed for this divorce, had you been living in Harris County and the state of Texas a minimum of 6 months?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any community property that the court has to consider to divide today?
No, ma'am.
So are you asking that the court award everything in your possession and that Mr. Bell be awarded everything in his possession?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking for a name change?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't think I did.
You are correct. Are you asking that the court award any debt solely under your name?
No, ma'am.
You're not, or let me rephrase. Do you have any debt under your name?
Probably old utility bills, but
Oh.
that's it.
That's fair. So you're asking that you be responsible for anything that you owe and he be responsible for anything that he owes under his name.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Do you have any vehicles? It says you have no vehicles. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. All right. Anything else that you would like to testify to?
No, ma'am.
Are you asking for your divorce to be granted today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Based on the pleadings on file and the testimony heard, the court does find it has jurisdiction over this matter and over the parties. The court is. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Bell didn't sign this order. It's just yours. I misunderstood. You signed your divorce. Hold on. No, you both did. Sorry. All right. Based upon everything, the court finds it has jurisdiction over this matter and over the parties. The court is granting your divorce today, okay?
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right, thanks for your patience. You may want to call Mr. Bell because he was a little bit disappointed and let him know that it all came through, okay?
Yeah, he's got a girlfriend fixing to get deported, so he's rushing for the divorce.
Well, it sounds
Yeah.
like it's been 10 years of separation. You guys have moved on. Good luck, okay?
All right. Thank you
I don't think that'll work anymore, will it? Marriage won't save them from deporting them, right?
so much, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
You too.
You guys are excused. All right, on the Vagani Joseph matter, counsel, did you get your audio?
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Thank you, ma'am.
I can't hear you now. Would you like to repeat yourself?
Thank you, ma'am. We are ready. But the respondent said she wanted to talk to the judge. That's why we're here.
All right, Evelyn Vagani, if you'll unmute, that way I can hear you.
Okay. Yes, my honor. I've been here listening. I didn't want to say nothing till the petitioner who brought me to court said something. I don't know what to say. That's what I want to talk to you about.
Well, this is set for final trial. What I do know is that notice filed on June 30th is not proper. So, Miss Vagani, are you waiving your right to proper notice of final trial? You want to proceed today, or are you objecting to that defective notice?
Well, my personal person who brought me to court, it's up to him, whatever he wants to do. I don't know. I have no objection.
Are you ready to proceed to final trial?
Say it again where I will understand you, because I'm fighting for myself. I'm standing for myself. I don't understand what you mean. I'm sorry.
Today is final trial. Today is the final day of court. Today is your last chance. Today is the day that you fight for yourself. You're ready to proceed today?
Judge Lopez. I played her once before, one time. And it was amazing. I wish I could play that clip every single day. It was like 30 minutes long of her just dismissing case after case after case. Dismissed. Lots of times people didn't even get a chance to speak. She's like, okay, case number, blah, 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 blah. Nope, you didn't file this correctly. Case dismissed. Yep, blah, 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 blah. I can't put it down today, CJ, because I have McBurney and I just had Wong, and those are definitely YouTube judges. So I can't. But this lady, I don't think anybody else shows her. She's not on YouTube that I can find, but she's so angry. It's so lovely. Everything has to be perfect if you go in front of her. And she doesn't handle cases that normally have a lot of lawyers. Some do, but Normally it's pro se, like it's a divorce. He has a lawyer, she doesn't. Well, if every single piece of that paperwork is not perfect, case dismissed, case dismissed, case dismissed. It's amazing. It's so fun to watch.
To proceed as into divorce today?
As into final trial.
I don't understand what you mean by final trial. The final trial is it for the man to divorce me today or what? Because I have stuff to say.
The case
Yes,
is
ma'am.
the case is dismissed. I find that there's not proper notice, counsel. Please go on to the court's website and locate what is a proper notice that includes
Yes, ma'am.
all the language required under the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. The case is dismissed. I'll see you guys
Oh, it's
next time.
breaking up.
Have a good day.
So no, he didn't get, he had an attorney. The attorney did it wrong. Case dismissed. All right. All right. This, I just have a quick clip from Jersey because I just think the lawyer is super annoying. So.
I would be excused.
You are. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much.
And I clicked the wrong button. There we go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. This is the matter of Isaiah Nobles, W2025-006-545-0714. Appearances, please. I thought Mr. Beal was here.
Judge, I'm here. I was waiting for a prosecutor.
Yes, okay. Madam Prosecutor, your appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecutor Judith DeRosa for the state.
Counsel.
What a pleasure, Judge, to have Mr. Rosa. It's Sebastian Beal from the law office of Beal on the Rack on behalf of Mr. Nobles. Your Honor,
Mr.
waive a formal
Nobles.
reading, ask the judge's plea of not guilty.
Thank you, counsel. Mr. Noble, state your name and your address, please.
Isaiah Amir Nobles, 608 Irvington Avenue, Maplewood, New Jersey. Zip code was 07040.
Is there an apartment or floor?
Apartment 1.
So not guilty plea will be entered as requested by your lawyer. Your public safety assessment report recommends no release. The decision stated by the state earlier indicates that the state is agreeing to level 3 reporting together with no contact with the victims, Tatiana, Emily, and Demaris Staville. And the state is also seeking a weapons preclusion. Madam Prosecutor, can you confirm that's the state's recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is in agreement with level 3 reporting and I'm sorry, the second
No contact.
the second
Weapons preclusion and then no contact with the alleged.
Nakama, I love him. I love watching his docket. It's the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
victim.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Beal,
No objection.
you have any
No objection to those
objection to those
conditions, Judge.
conditions?
No objection to
So
those
you will,
conditions.
thank you, counsel. So
He's
you
so
will be
annoying.
released, sir, but you must comply with the following. You must appear for all your court dates. You must notify pretrial services of any change in your contact information. You shall not commit any offense during the period of your release. You must have no contact with Tatiana, Emily, and Maurice Staville, their residence and place of work, and you must stay 1,000 feet away from them at all times. No electronic, telephonic, nor social media contact with any of those individuals. You must also refrain from possessing a firearm or any dangerous weapon. You must report to pretrial services by telephone once every other week and in person once every other week. Your next court date is July 25th, 2025 at 9 a.m. before Judge Romanation. Private counsel represents you. Mr. Beal is present in this court session. If you have any questions, you must address them directly with your lawyer.
I can get Judge Romanishin every once in a while, but it's rare.
Do you understand these conditions of your release?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, anything else on this matter?
Other than to say thank you to you and Mr. Rose, Judge. Thank you again.
Thank you, counsel, for your appearance. You're excused. Mr. Nobles, you can leave the booth now, please.
I thought that's all I had from him, but there's 5 more minutes. So hold on. I just want to make sure we don't get cut off in the middle of a case. Nope, we don't. Let's play it. Let's play the tape. I don't remember this guy, so I just remember
So
that.
the matter of Gervanni, Seaman, W2025-005-411-0714. Your name, sir?
Gervanni Seaman.
Counsel appearance. This is Mr. Kraminski's matter.
I'm here, Judge Alan Kraminski from Kraminski Law. I apologize, I was muted. On behalf of Gervanni Seaman. Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, counsel. Do you acknowledge receipt of the complaint against your client? Do you request to waive a more formal reading and to enter not guilty plea on their behalf?
I do, Judge.
Not guilty, please enter as requested by counsel. State's intention on this matter, Madam Prosecutor.
If I could be heard briefly, Judge, I didn't get a chance to speak to the state. I did get retained by the alleged victim in this case, Judge. She's on standby. I didn't want to be rude and have her join the CJP without the court and the prosecutor's consent. She is consenting to his release, and they live together, Judge. She does want contact with him. She's on standby if the court wants to release it, but just wanted the prosecutor to be made aware.
Well, I will not address that as such, because it appears that at this time the state has filed a motion for the defendant's detention. And once that motion is filed, I lose jurisdiction over this case and I must send it to a superior court judge. So I do not even believe that there is any type of process that can be had at this time except to schedule it for a detention hearing, which will be on the 24th, next Tuesday, before Judge Ari. Officer Miller, can you confirm?
I get Judge Ari. That's easy.
Because I saw an email that the detention hearings before Judge Ari, that the dates have been changed. Can you confirm that it is indeed on Tuesday, the 24th?
Pretrial Services Officer Miller, Your Honor, I'll look into it right now.
All right, thank you. So then that would be before Judge Ari, and the PDC date remains the same, is July 25th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Mr. Seaman, I did not make any comments about what your lawyer said because I do not have any authority to address a motion for detention. So as you can see, your lawyer is ready to make arguments for your release, but that cannot happen until Tuesday, June 24th. Do you understand? Well, your lawyer will explain it to you. Counsel, anything else? If there is any change, if Officer Miller finds that Judge Ari has somehow moved the detention hearing date, pretrial services will get in touch with you immediately. I get a report back from Officer Miller.
So as of right now, Judge, it's for Tuesday morning?
That's correct.
Understood. Is that 8:30 or 9 a.m.?
9 a.m., but you know, it always pays to come to court. In Essex, we go to court at 8:30, but the judge starts at 9.
Understood. And are they in person for those?
For the most part, no, for the most part, they are virtual.
Okay.
Sometimes if it needs to be in person, the court will let you know. The PDC date might be in person, but the detention hearings are mostly virtual for now.
I understand, Judge. I'll reach out to the state later today and see if the state would consider withdrawing their motion after I speak to them and put them in touch. But Mr. Seaman, I'm going to come see you. We'll be rescheduled for the 24th.
Okay, so when you gonna come see me?
I'm gonna try to come either today or tomorrow. Just sit tight.
Okay. See you
All
later,
right,
alligator.
thank you, counsel, for your appearance.
Thank you, Judge. This is a reconsideration, Judge. It's a murder case. It's been denied a number of times before. This is the case where the gunshot was fired through a wall and it hit a third party. I believe that the state's evidence would show that allegedly the co-defendant, I think, is flipped on my client at this point, if I'm not mistaken. Whitney, correct me if I'm wrong. I might be confusing murder cases. So
That's correct. Cox Cody did relay a confession from your client.
right. And so my client, wants me to ask the court to reconsider the issue of bond and beg for an ankle monitor and beg for a home or house arrest and talk about how the only real evidence that places Mr. Davis there is Cox Cody. So Mr. Davis does not have. Let me double check.
Mr. Davis is on screen now. Good morning, Mr. Davis.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm fine. Judge Stokes here, along with your attorney, Martin Hilliard. And I do understand that this is on for reconsideration of bond. I have denied this a couple of times. And unless something has changed, I know you disagree with what the state's evidence is or what the state intends to prove at trial. But based on what I have here, my notes are this was a retaliatory shooting after initial altercation. That was at Island Breeze. There was a residence that was shot. There was a victim not involved with any of the people you may have been with that evening, and he was certainly an unintended victim. And there are issues here that cause the court concerns for your risk to reoffend and the risk to those in the community. So I appreciate, Mr. Hilliard, that you have brought this forward. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. Mr. Davis, the court is going to stand on the denial of bond. Ms. Davis, when is this hearing set for trial? September 29th. All right, we are at 10:37. That Miss Davis, I don't want you to get confused with this Miss Davis.
Yes, Your Honor. First, the people would be asking that the court adopts the finding of incompetency that
Miss
was found
Davis.
in Denver District Court case
Just
24 CR 221.
just in case you guys were getting confused. I didn't want you to get too confused. To reoffend and the risk.
I think it's going to be one of the older cases, so we have a much better shot of getting reached at that point in time. I just want Mr. Davis to understand, the way it works is you start off at the bottom, and as these more serious cases. I do have one more, I think it's older than Mr. Davis's case that might be on the same docket that's in front. But you're moving up, Mr. Davis, okay? And,
Mr. Davis, if I could try them all at once, I would. Unfortunately, you'll have to wait for a little while longer for your trial.
And Judge, we need to take a look at this case and see if we can, because the September the 29th, it's now being used for the three.
I know. Okay. So September 29th is not likely because I have a 3 co-defendant trial going on that day. And so we'll look, Mr. Hilliard, to see where we can place this because this is certainly a priority.
And just for the record, he's 35 years old. His prior record's nonviolent felonies like theft and stuff like that, Judge. And he's been in since September of 2023. So
yes.
And I'll stay on top of it. So
I know you will. Okay. But he murdered
Davis,
somebody.
Davis, that's all for now.
He murdered an innocent person for no reason.
And I have one other, which I don't think the state's going to have a huge issue with. I think it's Whitney's case as well.
Jamal Robinson?
Yeah, it's really a motion to amend the conditions of bond, Judge. He's already out on bond. And he just needed to move, his lease was up and he needed to move the apartment that he was living in. He's banished from Chatham County, and I put the new apartment in the motion.
So if you get
I don't really
banished,
think we-
if you get banished from Chatham County, do you go to Fulton? Is that like a natural? Okay, if I was banished from Lancaster, I'd probably go to York. So if you get banished from Chatham County, where do you go? Is it Fulton? It has to be Fulton, right? Say it's Fulton.
He had a great objection to it, but I had to put it down for her to have a chance to lodge one if she had one. So
Does he live outside of Chatham County?
he does, Judge. He's banished from Chatham County as a condition of his bond, I believe.
Okay.
Except for court, of course.
And is this just? I'm sorry, Jamal Robinson. Well, Mr. Robinson's not present.
Yeah, he's not in custody.
Right.
This is just amending conditions of his bond.
No, I understand. Deputy, you can bring Mrs. Berger, who you here for?
Jeremiah Thompson.
You can bring
He's gonna be
Jeremiah.
a lot like Mr. Hilliard's first.
You can bring Jeremiah Thompson. Is he in custody?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, we'll come back to this then. Jamal Robinson, I do have your order amending conditions of bond that he shall be allowed to change his address and reside at a different address, 23 Treeview in Stonecrest, Georgia. Oh, what's that, around Stone Mountain or something?
It is, Judge. He was banished from Chatham County as a condition of bond. So he lives up there to drive trucks for a living. He's been doing good for the last year and a half. So I don't think the state has any great heartburn over it, but I did have to put him from the court.
I'll ask the state. Ms. O'Brien.
Good morning, Your Honor. If the only change is to get him a new apartment, then the state has no objection.
Okay. I'll sign off on that order. I do have that with me.
Thank you, Judge. I think that's all I have with y'all.
I believe you did. That is it. Thank you.
Y'all have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
All right. I showed Jeremiah James, but the last name is what, Mr. Sparker?
Thompson, Your Honor.
Okay, just didn't print out that way on my written docket. So Jeremiah James Thompson, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, ma'am?
I am fine, Mr. Thompson. I'm Judge Stokes. We're here to discuss the issue of bond in your case. And Mr. Sparker, this is a reconsideration?
Yes, Your Honor. And when I filed it, I did not realize that. I just filed it as an actual bond motion. And then yesterday, when I was going through it, I looked and I said, oops, back on November 1st, we did hear the bond. It was denied. And quickly, he's charged with murder, charged different ways, and then charged with a separate ag assault. Unfortunately, this was similar to Mr. Hilliard's case that you heard. There was shots being done different ways, and this was in Frazier Homes, and one bullet went through a window, killing a woman who was asleep in her bed.
My
Yeah,
Lord.
my notes, Mr. Sparker, and it's fine that it's a reconsideration. My notes do show that at the time, Mr. Thompson was 17 years old. How old are you now, Mr. Thompson?
Oh, I turned 18 2 months ago.
Okay, you just turned 18. You're a lifelong resident. You live with your parents. You were a senior at Groves High School. Did you graduate, or did all of this interrupt that?
I was going to graduate 2025, but I was incarcerated.
Okay. I know you attend Friendship Baptist Church on Hudson Hill. You used to work at Old Country Buffet. I did deny the bond because risk to the community and risk to reoffend. There was a gun at Mr. Thompson's home that matched the gun that was used, unfortunately, in this offense. And Mr. Thompson has been a busy young man, and unfortunately, he's had a fair number of gun-related issues in his very young life. And So there are a number of things here. One of the things, Mr. Spargo, I want to ask you, have you gotten discovery yet? Is that still an issue for you?
Your Honor, we've gotten discovery, and then a couple of weeks ago, I've got a lot more discovery. I mean, there's tons of this stuff. I will point out, while Mr. Thompson has been found with guns in his presence or on his person, I think the court misspoke. I do not have anything showing that a gun that has been seized in this case and associated with Mr. Thompson is matching. I may be wrong. Ms. O'Brien may point out where I'm just missing something because
No, he was holding the gun for a friend.
the pure volume of it, and I read it, and it just
He forgets the friend's name though.
hit me right. But that's the one point. I mean, I will tell the court that what had Mr. Thompson as a suspect early on is that there was a video on Instagram or whatever where he was there with some other guys and he had a gun with a green laser. The guy who may have been the intended victim reported that he saw a gun with a green laser, and that was in the shooting. But of course, there was a period of time between.
To be fair, there's a lot of shootings going on. 2 people could have a gun with a green laser. That's definitely probable.
Video and the shooting, although the video was in Fraser Homes and the shooting was in Fraser Homes, but there is a time difference. So it's circumstantial, but showing that Mr. Thompson had that gun at that time and that it was even, something I have not found that connection in the discovery.
And Mr. Sparger, my notes are often not I try to make them as accurate as possible, but I don't doubt that I may have gotten something wrong. Ms. O'Brien.
No, that's fine.
Your Honor, I think the bigger thing is Detective Flanoy was listening to jail calls in January of this year, and he heard a number of jail calls in which Mr. Thompson admits to having shot, but saying it was an accident. And so regardless of the ballistics judge, from his own lips, he's saying this happened. And the state is concerned with his release. There are way too many murders in Savannah involving triggermen who are youth. It's out of control. And with his juvenile history of guns, and Your Honor, I don't know if this was mentioned at the last bond hearing, but in June of 2023, the defendant flipped 2 tables in the courtroom after the judge denied his release, and it took 8 deputies to restrain him. So he's erratic. Your Honor, the state believes that bond should be denied, and the victim's family also wanted me to express that they are in fear for their safety.
Okay. And with that, I'm going to stand on the denial of bond. So,
Okay, if I can just do one thing real quick. What was that date you said that incident occurred? Because I think you got the wrong person. I don't think he had been arrested yet. I don't think that.
This was on other offenses. This was June 13th, 2023.
Okay. He would have been in juvenile at that time.
Right.
Yes.
He was in juvenile court when the flipping of the table happened.
Okay. Okay.
Listen, if you want to know what time my stream is about to start, just go to the stream. It'll tell you. And then we won't have to worry about daylight savings time or anything. Time zone differences. Just look there. It'll tell you.
It's a lot of information. It's a lot of information, Mrs. Carter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson, you will remain until trial of your case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Carter.
that's all I have.
All right. I'm terrified to go to this one now because the other one split the audio is so terribly. Let's see. Fingers crossed.
You said you're what? I'm prepared to move forward. Okay, all right. So Mr. Body's ready to talk about bond. We'll see if that's Mr. Dike. Hey there, are you Mr. Dike? Oh, you're muted. Let me unmute that. Sorry. And you can tell me how better to pronounce your name.
And she is always smirking, prosecutor.
All right, let's try
always.
that again. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Great.
that's good.
How do you
that's
pronounce
good.
your last name?
Dike.
Dike. All right.
Way off, sorry.
Got it. Mr. Dike, I'm Judge McBurney.
Hey,
Your
Ron.
case has been assigned to my division. We're going to talk about arraignment today and bonds today, and then we'll go from there. Ms. Rios, you can see on the screen there, that is your lawyer. The prosecutor, you can see his right shoulder on the screen. Now you can see half his face. There he is. That's the prosecutor on your case. He's going to give me the state's view on bond when we get to that. And then when we're done, I'll see if you have any questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Ms. Rios, first things, arraignment. Are you waiving arraignment on your client's behalf?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe I filed it.
All right. Hold on one second. Mute that. Okay. So then why don't you talk to me about bond?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Dike is 21 years old. He has 3 children, ages 3 years and 3 months. He has been working at a lawn service company, and then overnight at the airport. I have spoken with his mother. He has family support. Actually, I think I expected her to be on the Zoom, but I'm not sure if I gave her the link, but she has been calling me very, very often and wanting to talk about what was going on. I don't believe he has a long criminal history. And we do plan on going to trial and fighting this case. So I'm hoping he can be given a reasonable bond in this case.
Okay.
No more than 50, I think.
There is on the call a Carolyn Dike Pryor, so that might be mom.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So she's here. That's good to know. Where would your client stay? I don't mean street address, but like what's the idea of where he would be?
He, I believe, living with his mother.
Okay. And Mr. Dike, is that where you were staying before you got arrested?
No, sir.
Where were you staying before?
I lived with my brother.
Okay. But if you get a bond that you can make, you would stay with your brother or your mother?
I would stay with my mother.
Okay. Where do your kids stay?
They live with their mothers. And
Whoops. The audio is separated. Son of a gun. I'm so mad. Darn it.
with their mothers in Georgia.
Oh, in Georgia. Got it. So they are local. They're just with their moms.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have anyone from pretrial services? We do. Good morning, pretrial.
Good morning.
How are you, Ms. Washington?
I'm doing good.
Great. Could you let me know what criminal history information you have for Mr. Dike?
Yes, Your Honor. 5 arrest cycles. The last arrest prior to this case was in 2022 for a probation violation out of Clayton County. There was an arrest in 2022 that was separate from the probation violation in Clayton County for a battery and possession of a firearm. No disposition was listed on that case. There was a 2022 misdemeanor conviction for possession of tools by a person under 18 and a 2021 first offender treatment for 2 counts of reckless conduct out of Clayton County. That case was sealed in 2022. There are no felony convictions that are listed.
Got it. Thank you. So the probation must be for some misdemeanor out of Clayton. Okay. Got it. Thank you, Ms. Washington. So, Mr. Dike, I'm gonna mute you. That doesn't mean you can't hear us. It means we won't be able to hear you, but there's some funky feedback. If I have a question for you or need to hear something from you or you want to say something, I'll turn the connection back on, okay? All right. Mr. Abate, thoughts about bond in this case? And full disclosure, I looked at the commitment package and all it says is that Mr. Dike shot someone and there's zero context to anything. So
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't know. I'm guessing Ms. Rios doesn't know much about the case either.
Yes, Judge. The state would respectfully request that Ms. Rios, this would be a motion for reconsideration of bond. Bond was heard before Judge Paige Whitaker back February 25th of this year, in which she denied bond and found that the defendant was a significant risk of flight, significant risk of committing felonies pending trial, and a significant risk in intimidating witnesses and the further the further obstruction of the administration of justice. Just to, I guess, give the court some context or background as it relates to the facts and circumstances of the case, which the state would contend make this defendant a risk to the community and the people in it. This defendant back on October 5th of 2024, a little after noon on the 5th of October, was in the, I guess, the parking area of what I understand to be the apartment complex where he was living with one of his significant others. And I believe it would be the significant other that he shares the 3-month-old with now. At that time, she was still pregnant with their now a child. The victim in this case, Eric Jones, had come over with his significant other and their 3 kids. One of their children needed to use the restroom, and Mr. Jones and the defendant were, from what I understand, friends. This defendant came out and met Mr. Jones in the parking lot and started a verbal dispute over a $10 debt. This $10 debt turned into a physical altercation where both the defendant and the victim began to physically fight. Both of the females attempted to kind of separate the 2 men. And at that point, the girlfriend of Mr. Jones, the deceased, was then struck in the face, which escalated the physical altercation. At some point, the 2 men separated. After they separated, Mr. Jones was unarmed, and this defendant pulled out a firearm and shot Mr. Jones 10 times. After shooting him 10 times, he then fled the location with his then pregnant significant other, Miss Weems. They then fled, and he remained in hiding from October 5th until he was arrested on February 8th of this year. When the APD Fugitive Task Force and the Clayton County SWAT team were able to locate the defendant in Clayton County at the time of what they had anticipated to be the apprehension of the defendant, he immediately began to try to flee the execution of his arrest. At the time that he was fleeing, he was apprehended by one of the canines, by biting down and holding the defendant from escaping custody. At that point is when he was arrested in February of this year. So based upon all of that, and there being no change in circumstances presented to the court, it'd be the state's contention that Mr. Dike is not a good candidate for bond and should remain in the custody of the Fulton County Jail.
All right. I don't know if anyone from Mr. Jones's family is online or here and wants to be heard. Any info?
There's no one present online, Your Honor. I indicated to the family that this was just a plea and arraignment. I neglected to remember that Ms. Rios had filed a bond motion back in May, but they had expressed when we talked about bond that they wished that he remain in custody.
Okay, got it. Ms. Rios, you may have learned a whole bunch. I know it was a colleague of yours and not you who handled the original bond hearing in front of Judge Whitaker. So I do want to give you a chance to respond. Please include in your response your thoughts about what has changed, because a colleague of mine, a co-equal, heard a debate about whether the bond was appropriate in this case, and she decided just a few months ago that it wasn't.
It's time. Yeah,
so
you're doing well.
I would need to be countermanding that decision, and I'd need something more than just Mr. Dike's a good candidate for bond. I'm assuming he was a good candidate in your eyes or his eyes before, and that's not how it ultimately was processed by Judge Whitaker.
Your Honor, I guess the only difference that I can think of is like more time has passed. I've talked to him, and I believe this is going to be, I know the facts that the state has is a self-defense case. And he would just need to be able to better prepare for his case if he's outside of custody, and to be able to be a father to his children. And given the lack of history or lack of, felony convictions, I do believe he's a good candidate for bond. As far as a flight risk, he's local, his family's here. I talked to his mom and his dad, and they assured me that they were going to be looking out for him. And I believe with that, I don't know if that was mentioned in the last bond hearing. I don't have the notes for that. So that might make a difference in the consideration.
Okay. So, Mr. Dike, I've unmuted again. I just want to make sure if there was anything, if you had a question about anything we've discussed or anything that you wanted to add beyond what Ms. Rios has shared, that you had an opportunity to do that.
Hi, Kelly. How are you?
That's not you, though. Hold on. Let's get Ms. Hill quiet. All right. She's quiet. Back to you, Mr. Dike.
Can you repeat what you said?
Yeah, I just wanted to know if there was anything, if you had questions about anything, or if there was anything you wanted to add. I don't want you to talk about the facts and circumstances of your case. That's not for you to do right here. You and Ms. Rios can talk about that, but just wanted to make sure if you had questions or anything you wanted to add that you had a chance to do that. It's okay if you don't. I don't mean to put you on the spot. It's just because you and your lawyer are not sitting right next to each other. You may have wanted to have her say X or Y, and I want to make sure you got heard on everything.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Well, while you're thinking about that, let me ask Mr. Abate, the discovery in this case, is it something that's ready to go to get to Ms. Rios? It's already there. What's the status of that?
I think it's something that that is, or if not, can be ready to go by the end of the week at most. I haven't looked to see if Ms. Rios had filed a entry and also a motion opting in, but I'm assuming she has. So I will make sure that's served by the end of the week.
She did. When she filed the waiver on May 20th, it sounds like when she filed the bond motion as well, it was the one where she says she opts in. So if you could get it into this week, or because there's no Friday this week, there's a Friday, we just won't be here, early next week.
Yes, sir.
Be great. Okay. So Ms. Rios and Mr. Dike, one, you've already waived arraignment, so we'll get a scheduling order in place. Two, I'm going to leave the bond situation as it is for now, only because I'm new to this as well, and I didn't hear anything today that says I ought to undo what Judge Whitaker did. But Ms. Rios, I want to give you an opportunity to get the discovery, look at it, and review it with your client, because you may then see something either in discovery or potentially something not in discovery that gives you pause to say, it's going to take months to get this. I don't have this from the state. I don't know where it is. And if we start to see delays that are caused by you not getting what you're entitled to from the state, then we need to revisit this. Otherwise, like you said, I'm anxious to get this to trial so that we can get closure insofar as there is closure for the Jones family as well as for your client and his family. So for now, no change in circumstances, but I'm very open to reviewing this after you've had a chance, Ms. Rios, to look at the discovery and see where you think that's going to take us, okay?
Yes, Judge, thank you.
All right, so Mr. Dike, your lawyer will be out to see you soon after she gets discovery. She can't necessarily bring it all to you because some of it may be digital, meaning videos and whatnot, but she can get you paper and certainly talk to you about what's in there. More importantly, she'll talk to you about whether she's going to file any motions. I don't know what happened in your case, but I'm making this up. If you gave a statement to the police, there may have been an issue with the way they obtained that statement. And so Ms. Rios will be looking at that real carefully to see if there's something that we need to litigate. I will see you next, either because we're having a motions hearing, or we will soon enough get to the deadline for the two sides to work the case out before trial, and I see you on that date as well. Do you have any questions, Mr. Dike, before I let you go for the day?
I just want to know how can my bond be denied from the stuff that's being said, or there's no proof of the stuff that's being said?
Hold on one sec. I just got a text. Someone saying, Ms. Rios, that your client's mom is in court.
Yes.
Okay, and she wants to speak. You all right with that, Ms. Rios?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ma'am, was there something you wanted to add? I need you to come to a microphone, so if you don't mind coming to that empty table there.
Yep, the video and audio are just really bad.
Good morning. If you could state your name just so the court knows who's talking.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Tiff. I am the parent of Mr. Tazir Dike. And I just wanted to start off by saying, you know, we moved out of Philadelphia years ago to kind of get away from a lot of what was going on, as you can see. And it seemed like ever since we moved down here, I moved down here when he was 8 years old. And it seemed like ever since we have moved down here, he's been a victim of some kind of bullying. And I know that's all going to come out. And excuse me. And the last time he got bullied, it was so bad. His friends put a gun to his face back in 2018, robbed him, took his phone, took his sneakers, and sent him back home walking in the rain. And it was me and my husband went after the kids. You know, they done served time, did what they needed to do. But it didn't end there, because he kept getting bullied online, bullied when he went to school, and bullied in the street. And, you know, that's psychological, because it just doesn't end after you thought you resolved it with that person, y'all ended it, y'all did it. It keeps going on and on, because this is something that happened when he was 14 or 15, and you still hearing about it as an adult. Right. So like I said, that's trauma and that's psychological. So that's really all I need to say. Okay. That's all I need to add it.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And I hope that you spend some time with Ms. Rios. Sharon, you may have documentation that's helpful for her as she puts together information about your son's situation. And that might be another reason why we'd have another conversation about bond. Okay. As you get more information to Ms. Rios, and she's better able to understand what your son's situation is. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate you being here. It's a sign that he's got family support.
Yeah, okay. He has family on Zoom.
Right. Someone was the one on Zoom who said, wait, mom is in court, let her speak. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you being here.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. All right, Mr. Dike, I will see you soon. After Ms. Rios gets discovery, we'll figure out what's happening next. Thank you.
Bye.
Hello. It's been an interesting day. All right. Hello. You're good to go, Mr. Dike.
Hello.
Love you, Tazir.
Hey, Judge.
Yes.
Is there any way possible we can see Willie Kemp? There was at Marietta Annex. He's in courtroom 1.
Sure. We'll do that next.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Mr. Dike, you're good to go. You don't need to stick in the booth anymore.
Hello.
Who keeps saying hello?
This is his father.
Okay.
I had wanted to speak, but I'm at work. I drive the bus for the city of Phoenix, and I was trying to wait till I got to a stop in order to talk with you guys concerning my son.
All right. What is it you want to share?
Well, basically, back then when I had my son, I moved him out here in order for him to get away from the situation. That's when he was sent back to Atlanta, basically to, visit his mom and his family. And I wasn't opposed to that. But at that time that happened, that's when he got stuck up and robbed. And it was a concern that I wanted him to come back home, but he felt as though he had to stay there in order to go through the trial with the person that basically friends that robbed him. Ever since then, all I hear is things stating that they're bullying him, they're threatening him, and he was scared for, for his safety while staying in Atlanta, but we couldn't get him back out here. And in that time frame, I'm in constant communication with my son, and he's telling me everything that's going on. And of course, that's frustrating. And then when this situation happened, and he calls me, he's scared because whoever the guys was that showed up at the apartment where he stayed at and started, basically, fight, thinking that he was going to jump him. So he defended himself because they basically was trying to fight him for no reason. I'm hearing all this stating that they just showed up there because a child wanted to go to the bathroom. That's not why they showed up there. My son.
So, sir, I'm going to pause you. This isn't something that's going to advance your son's cause for you to start sharing information that you think you've received. In particular, if you received it from your son, you ought to talk to Ms. Rios, who is his lawyer.
I haven't talked to any. That's the thing. No one has contacted me since he basically the situation happened, and they called me asking me, was my son here in Arizona? I told them my son isn't here, and nobody has contacted me or said anything to me since then. And I really think that someone needs to contact me.
Okay, I will give you a call. I'll get the information from your ex-wife, his mom. I've spoken to her. So I will give you a call also, okay?
Now, my son is loved, so he has a backing. So someone needs to contact me immediately.
Okay. Well, it sounds like Ms. Rios will do that. I don't know that people had your contact information up front, but it sounds like Ms. Rios has obtained it, and she'll be diligent about reaching out to you.
Like I stated, they had me because they called me when it first happened, so they had a way to contact me. But
well, I don't know who the they is that you're talking about, but
the police department, Atlanta Police Department contacted me the same day that it happened.
Okay, that's very, very different from your son's lawyer. That is not the same team. They don't necessarily share information. So Ms. Rios now has your contact information, and she will reach out to you, and that's who you're going to want to partner with on this. Okay.
No problem.
All right. I appreciate you dialing in, sir.
No problem.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, we're going to stop it there before the audio separates even further from the video. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, everything hates me right now. All right. I'm going to set up OJ. I didn't set it up yet. I know. I was going to go longer with McBurney, but the audio got so bad that I had to stop it now. So I will talk to you all tomorrow, but not at 4:30. I can't. I'm going to start at 8 and work all day instead. Everybody gets to sleep in for a little bit. And Aussies, you're going to miss. You're going to miss because you're already going to be in bed. It'll be way past your bedtime. But you can go to the replay crew. Or I'll probably still be on when you wake up. Okay. Thanks for coming out today, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you, some of you in OJ. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Got these life echoes, digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes near a sky so blue. In her jokes there's a truth so true. With each stream she brings the light, turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom, eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted charm, in a wake there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night, her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom, eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted charm, in a way there's no